Hi guys, welcome once again to my YouTube channel. On today's tutorial, we'll be doing the cutting and the stitching of our off-shoulder bustier blouse slash dress. And this is basically the part 3. So if you've been following, you've been watching, I want to thank you for keeping up with me. Thank you for staying tuned and thank you for your patience because I know this video is pretty late. So please like, comment, and subscribe. Also share this video to your loved ones who are also interested and enjoy the video. So right now, as you can see, I'm adding my seam allowance of 1/2 inch round and I'm just cutting it off. If you don't understand what I'm saying, I would advise you watch what I'm doing, but I promise to explain in-depthly, okay? You see the pattern labeled SF, there is no seam allowance at the front and there's no seam allowance by the side. This is because my pattern already contains about 1.5 inch seam allowance. That is half for the front and 1 for my side. So that is what I did. So I'm just going to cut my back, and my back already contains my seam allowance by the side. So I'm just going to add the 1/2 inch at the neckline and the 1/2 inch at the waistline, if that makes sense. Watch what I'm doing. So that's basically all about the cutting, and I cut 2 pieces of each. I'm using the fabric for the lining. I won't really advise you to do the same, but I did it because I don't like seeing my lining on my bustier. I don't like seeing another color, like maybe black or whatever color of lining you have. So I don't like seeing it. That's why for my bustier, I always use my fabric. So you would see, you would have a neat finish. Now to the breast pad, this is the way you cut it. You use your curve to determine the exact curve you want, but it must start, your curve must start from your under bust line. And now remembering we have our seam allowance, you're going to take off your seam allowance plus about 1 inch extra. So I took a total of 3 inches out. Now for my center front, I'm just going to start from my under bust and fold the rest in. You could actually cut it, so most times I do, but I think I'm still going to need this pattern. That's why I didn't. So this is the easiest way to do it. Now I'm just going to cut it off. So I'm just going to take it to my breast pad and cut it. I'm done, and you can see what it looks like. I don't know, you're supposed to cut your center front on fold. I didn't mention it, but I thought it was obvious. So you're supposed to cut it on fold, as you can see. Now just watch how you place them on your fabric. As you can see, there's always a 1/2 inch allowance. So I'm going to take this to my sewing machine and join it. I've already done that for one, and I'm going to do that for the next. Let me show you how I did it. So I was doing this before I realized that I'm not on camera. I'm just going to take the side front and stitch it down, starting from the bottom. Okay, starting from the down to the top. You sew from the down to the top. I'm just going to head over to my sewing machine to join it like so, starting from the waistline to the top. And this is my back. I'm just going ahead to join it. I'm just going to join it together. Now I'm done with joining both the front individually and the back. As you can see, this is what it looks like. I've also gone ahead to press it open. Now this is my back joined together already, so I have 2 pieces of it instead of 4. So this is how you press it. After opening it, after notching, you open it up and you press before trimming the excess allowance. Okay, as you can see, I'm trimming it off. That's because I've already open pressed it after notching it. So that's what I'm basically going to do before joining it together. So I've joined it and this is what it looks like. If you ask me, it looks perfect. I'll just go ahead to add my lace tracing. And I've added my lace design, and this is how it's looking. Now I'm going to add my back side to side, and that is what I'm going to do right here. As you can see, I'm done, and this is what it looks like. So let's focus on our skirt. I have the lining here. I'm just going to show you all the parts of my skirt and the lining. This is my front, and this is the lining. As you can see here, right here, the lining is shorter than the actual fabric, and it's shorter by 2. You can make yours short by 1.5, but whatever works for you. Me, I use 2. Now this is the way I'll sew it. I'll place it on top, sew the hem first. Now drag it back to the waistline and stitch it down. You see, that's the way you sew it. At the end of the day, you have this, you have your fabric flipping over to the right side, as you can see right here. Now I've gone ahead to do this for all my skirt piece. As you can see, my fabric is turning over. I've ironed it out, and now I'll be placing my lace tracing to my desired style. And this is what I came up with. This is what I love. And I went ahead to stitch it down. So this is the part that is going to be our wrapper. It's not going to be stitched down together with the gown. It's going to have an allowance where we can raise it up and tie. So I've gone ahead to join all my skirts, the back, the front, and this is what it's looking like. Now look at what I'm talking about. You notice that this our wrapper illusion, I didn't stitch it down to the side. I only connected it to one side. You can see I didn't stitch it down the side. That I'm done joining my skirt, it's now time to connect it with the bustier, and that's what I'm going to do. Now what I do is find the midpoint of my bustier and the midpoint of my skirt, and I connect. Just watch how I did this. So this place is a bit tricky. There are different ways of joining your gown, your dress. And if you had followed the other pattern the other way, you wouldn't have this issue I'm having now. Usually I connect my bustier and my skirt together, whereas some people connect front pattern of the skirt to the front pattern of the bustier, and back pattern of the skirt to the back pattern of the bustier, and then they just go ahead to connect it straight. Okay, they don't connect it from the waist, they just connect it from top to bottom. If you had used that method, you would not pass through what I'm passing through right now. So what I basically did is loosen it and correct that pattern, even if it was just there. So I loosed the front pattern of my bustier and the front pattern of my skirt, sorry, and I connected it. This is because I wanted my wrapper illusion to cover my seam line. So you see, I have this opening here. Now I'm just going to sew it straight. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, but please just watch and understand. You see right here where my wrapper is coming out from, I had to leave it open so I can extend my wrapper above my waistline so it could cover that my stitch lines. As you can see, I also went ahead to add my ropes that I'll use in tying my wrapper illusion, and that is that. Now I'm just going to add my zip. My slit allowance is already there because I made provision for it. So I'm just going to start my stitch right from there, the end of my slit, or the beginning of my slit rather. I'm placing my zip and I'm going to mark the allowance for my zip. Stitch here straight down to the starting of your slit using about 1 inch. Now my zip is in place and I'm just going to give it a good press. I'm going to open press it. Also for my slits, I'm going to hem it down. You can stitch it down, you can hem it down, but I prefer the look hemming gives it. So I'm going to use my hemming gum and hem it down. So this is what the back of the dress looks like with my slits. This is what the slit looks like. And this is how the front looks like. You can also go ahead to design it however you want, but I'm done. Now for my sleeves, I'm going to be marking 12 inches. This is the placement of my elastic. That's where I want my gather to start from. Okay. And afterwards, I'm going to hem the top by folding it by ½ inch, attach my lacing, and also attach my lacing to this wrist. That's basically it. So now that my sleeves are ready, I'll be attaching it to my dress to complete it because you can't be having dress without sleeves. Yes, you can. Don't mind me. Anyways, this is the style of the dress. So I'm actually taking my sleeve inside. I want my bustier lace trimmings and everything to be showing. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please, if you do, give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, like, do everything that makes your girl video pop. I love you all. Thank you for staying with me. Thank you for encouraging me. And I promise to do better next time. Bye.